Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Anime King, and today we're going to be doing part 24 of What If Naruto was Madara's grandson. You guys destroyed the last light goal, so today light goal is gonna be 450. Get this one to 450 and you'll be getting part 25 as soon as possible. Remember to share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. Comment down below and tell me what you think of this episode, and without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start the intro. So the last time we left off, the fate Naruto chased after Gaara, but Kakashi told Sakura to go and wake up Shikamaru to help Naruto because Sasuke was out cold because Kabuto had injected something into Sasuke's neck by Orochimaru wishes. Speaking of Orochimaru, him and the third Hokage was now inside of a sealed dome. The fourth Raikage wanted to enter it because Orochimaru had his father and using him like a puppet. Plus, he had the first and the second Hokage. Ryu appeared and told the Raikage now that he can bring him in that dome. The Raikage decided to trust Ryu, and with a swift move, Ryu used his eyes to suck the both of them in a vortex, and then they both appeared inside of the dome. You guys can check out all the other parts in the playlist. Yeah, guys can switch across and check out all the other parts in the playlist. Now, the third Hokage, Ryu, and the fourth Raikage face the first and the second Hokage plus the third Raikage. Ryu said that he wanted to fight the guy that his grandfather treated as an equal, as he rushed over and now he was facing the first Hokage. The first Hokage looked up and asked who he was. "Oh, don't worry," Ryu said. "You don't know me, but I have heard lots of stories about you. You were the one that my grandfather called an equal." "What? Your grandfather? Who is your grandfather?" "Oh, you don't know? My grandfather is Madara Uchiha." The third Hokage eyes widened as the first. Both of them eyes widened at this tone because everyone had heard the stories that Ryu said that Madara was his grandfather, but now he was saying it in person. "What?" The first Hokage said. "It can't be. Madara died when the both of us faced off at the Valley of Death, when he stabbed him with a sword." "But no," Ryu said. "He didn't die. He was saved, and he went on and lived his life. And now I am here because I want to test you to see how strong you are, if my grandfather said that you was his equal." Ryu then started to get swarmed by black butterflies, then he vanished. The first Hokage turned around instantly to stop an attack from Ryu. There was a barrage kick coming, but the first Hokage quickly turned around and used his hands to deflect the attack. "I see. Your speed is on point," Ryu said as he looked down at the first Hokage. Ryu then vanished again in a black blur as he appeared right next to the first Hokage, and him and the first Hokage went into a taijutsu battle, both of them trading blow for blow. While this is going on, the fourth Hokage is taking on his father, the third Raikage, the both of them exchanging powerful blows, shaking the barrier and shaking everything around them, and the third Hokage is facing off against the second Hokage. Skipping back to Ryu and the first Hokage, after the both of them finished some exchange blows of taijutsu, Ryu jumped apart and Ryu raised his hands as his hands started to spark. The fourth Raikage and the third Raikage looked over to see Ryu's hand spark with dark lightning. Before they could say anything, Ryu held out his hand and a shock of electricity ran towards the first Hokage, but he managed to create a tree to block the effect. Then the tree vines quickly headed straight to Ryu and wrapped all around him. "Oh, so now I see why my grandfather had a rough time with you," Ryu said as he stared at the first Hokage. Meanwhile, this is going on. The fake Naruto is heading after Gaara, with Shikamaru at distance behind him. The fake Naruto catch up with Gaara and Temari and Kankuro. As they stop on a tree branch, Naruto said, "I won't let you get away." "You really think you can stop us, kid?" Kankuro said as he shouted at Naruto. Then, Kankuro and Temari were sent flying away as Gaara waked up and slapped the both of them away with his sand hand. "Oh," the fake Naruto said, "you're up." "Blood. Blood," Gaara said as he was in an insane form. "Blood. Blood," he kept repeating over and over because Sasuke stabbed him in the shoulder, and that was the first time he saw his blood. He then charged at the fake Naruto. Naruto jumped back. Remember, the real Naruto had given some of this clone, this Zetsu, his chakra, so he can use some of his abilities. As he jumped back, he quickly waved some hand signs, and then a enormous breeze came out of his mouth as he said, "Wind style, wind tornado jutsu," and the wind tornado ended up sucking up Gaara, spinning him around and slamming him into a tree branch. As the fake Naruto rushed over to him to put the stamp on his head to reduce his tail beast chakra, he grabbed the fake Naruto with his sand hand left behind. As the sand started to form around the fake Naruto, it held on to him. The fake Naruto struggled to get out of this attack as Gaara slowly got back up and the sand was holding down Naruto. Then Gaara created a huge hand to slam the fake Naruto with, but before he could slam down on him, Shikamaru appeared and used his jutsu, his shadow possession jutsu, to hold Gaara, but it was quickly getting hard because Gaara is a tail beast transforming. It was really hard to hold on to him. The real Naruto only gave the clone some of his chakra because he knew something like this was going to happen, but he didn't think that it would be so hard for the clone because he shared some of his chakra. As the clone started to wave some hand signs as he said, "Great Fireball Jutsu," and burned the sand that was holding on to him, nearly crystallifying it, and he breaked out of it. Shikamaru had to release Gaara because his jutsu was up. Gaara was too strong for him to hold. As Gaara started to charge at the fake Naruto again, the fake Naruto flipped up in the air and dropped on Gaara's back as he used the sand on his back to create tiny spikes to spear right through Naruto. He flipped off of his back, but not before him leave a paper bomb on it to blow Gaara away. Gaara was sent flying down to the ground. The fake Naruto quickly rushed towards him to suppress the chakra, but then Gaara rose up back quickly as he can and grabbed the fake Naruto's feet and swinging him around, slapping him into every tree. After he finished slapping him around in about 10 trees, breaking them down, he slammed Naruto down into the ground. The fake Naruto pretended to be out cold as Gaara rushed towards him to finish the job, but then Shikamaru threw some kunais, but Gaara held up his hand and the kunai just went into the sand, and then they were projected back at him, and one hit Shikamaru in the shoulder, making him fall on the ground. As Gaara was 3 feet near Naruto, 5 clones popped up around him as the fake Naruto summoned 5 shadow clones. Then they all waved hand signs. "Great Fireball Jutsu," they said, as they blasted Gaara in point blank rage with their Fireball Jutsu, causing him to get on a knee because of the heat. But the sand was protecting most of his body, so he wasn't getting as much damage, but the heat and it was starting to get painful. He then dropped on his knees as Naruto rushed over to him and placed the seal on his head, suppressing the tail beast chakra. Gaara quickly passed out after this. Skipping back to Ryu, the real Naruto, facing off against the first Hokage. The first Hokage was sent flying back as Ryu delivered a super dynamic punch to his midsection. His hand was covered in chakra to make the punch more effective. Ryu didn't want to. He knew that they are already dead. He knew that this is just Orochimaru jutsu, but he just wanted to test how strong he is. As the first Hokage got back up, its midsection started to fix back because of the reanimation jutsu as he rushed over to Ryu again, and the both of them went into a taijutsu battle. This time, Ryu was grabbed by the first Hokage trees, the vine, but then when the first Hokage came to him to speak to him and to try to know more about him, Ryu simply walked right out of the trap. It was like the vines were going right through him. The first Hokage could clearly see a Sharingan under his mask because you could see the both of his eyes, and the first Hokage could see his Sharingan activated. As Ryu grabbed the first Hokage's hand by surprise because he didn't know that he could get out of the vines that easily, Ryu grabbed his hand and started to spin him around. As two shadow clones appear right behind Ryu, the next one grabbed the first Hokage's hand and the next one grabbed his leg. So the three of them started to spin around too, and then the three of them let him go and he was sent flying up in the air as Ryu used his shadow clones as projectile, and the two of them hold him and fling him straight up in the air. As Ryu was going up, he then waved some hand signs and said, "Black Dragon Lightning of Death." The sky above the first Hokage started to turn a black color as the lightning was only covering this part, and then black lightning in dragon form rushed down and totally disintegrated the first Hokage. Remember, it's a reanimation. Disintegrated him. Ryu then jumped back as he started to reform back in his papers. But meanwhile this was going on, the third Hokage already used his jutsu, the Death Reaper seal, to extract the chakra link from him and turning back the second Hokage into the dead person that Orochimaru used to make the reanimation jutsu. The third Hokage then noticed that the right Hokage had beaten down his own father because they're not like how Kabuto met them. They're not strong. Yeah, they're not super strong, but yeah, they're not up to their fully glory. So the third Hokage rushed over there and used the jutsu to cancel Orochimaru jutsu, ending the reanimation, but he's causing this on his own life. He then saw Ryu completely disintegrate the first Hokage. As the first Hokage was formed, he grabbed onto the first Hokage's arms and then used the Reaper Death Seal to cancel out Orochimaru jutsu. Orochimaru was a distance away. He knew that Ryu was powerful, but he didn't think that Ryu was this powerful. As Orochimaru was thinking to himself that he failed, and now he need to get out of here before he get captured, he then turned his lower section into a snake, but before he could go anywhere, he was stopped in his tracks when the third Hokage giant monkey summon grabbed him in a lock. As Orochimaru was locked by the monkey summon, he couldn't move as the monkey summon hold both of his hands and wrapped it around his head. The third Hokage then used the Reaper Death Seal to take away his ability to use his arms, but costing him his life. As Orochimaru quickly slithered out there, knowing that he can't use his arms anymore, he didn't try to fight the third Hokage because he knew what this jutsu mean, that it will cost him his life. But even if he tried to stay and fight, Ryu or the right Hokage would have killed him. The barrier then broke. Meanwhile, back in the forest, the fake Naruto, Temari and Kankuro had awoken, And the fate Naruto didn't speak to Gaara anything, turning him good. So this Gaara is still a dark, evil Gaara. And Temari and Kankura had woken. After the fate, Naruto simply walked away. He didn't want to catch Gaara bringing back the leaf or anything, even though he matched up the leaf. Even though this all was a plan to destroy the leaf, he walked away and let Temari and Kankuro took him away. As Shikamaru was knocked out after the shuriken hit him on the shoulder, his head was licked into a branch and he was knocked out cold. The fate Naruto quickly took him up in his arms and started to jump on the trees to go back to the Leaf Village. Ryu then walked over to the third Hokage and said, "Good job, old man." He then looked at the Raikage. The Raikage looked at Ryu, but he knew that he couldn't get himself in a fight now because he was already injured from fighting his own dad. And Ryu would look completely normal, like he could go about 10 more rounds. Ryu simply looked at him and laughed, and then he disappeared in a whirling vortex. Following Ryu, he appeared back to the Uzumaki Sanctum. As Deki retracted himself off Naruto, he fell to the ground and said, "That last attack took a lot out of me. Hope my clone did as well as I think, because the reason why he's so tired right now, he shared lots of his chakra with his clone." Not his clone really, the Zetsu, yeah. So it's more permanent, it's not gonna burst if someone hits it or anything. Yeah, so that's why he's kind of weak out right now. But he was still able to take on the first Hokage. So you guys can see the vast power of Ryu. Skipping back to the Fate Naruto, the Fate Naruto bring back Shikamaru to Kakashi. He then told Sakura to come over here and heal Shikamaru. She quickly ran over there. After taking out the kunai, she started to heal him. Kakashi looked at Naruto and said, "So, what happened?" Naruto looked back at him and said, "Oh, I did it." "So you managed to suppress the Kyuubi's chakra?" "Yes, I did. But we were lucky. If that guy had gone fully tailed beast, we would be in big trouble," Naruto said. "So, how is Sasuke?" Naruto said as he looked at Kakashi. Kakashi then told him that Sasuke was still in the infirmary. The thing that Kabuto injected him with, it was the curse mark, guys. Yes, it was the curse mark, because in the Forest of Death, Ryu showed up, so Sasuke wasn't able to get the curse mark. So Kabuto was sent by Orochimaru to inject him. Now, skipping to Orochimaru at his hideout, he was in a shower holding a bath, and his arms look really messed up as he realized that the Chorokage really sealed his arms and he cannot use jutsu anymore. He was enraged. But he thought things will get better soon because the Uchiha will soon come to me for more power, he said with a demonic smile on his face. "Okay, Kakashi, I'm going to check up on Sasuke," Naruto said as he headed off to the infirmary. But he wasn't going to go to the infirmary. He's going to swap places with the real Naruto now. As he headed off back to the forest, as the real Naruto appeared in a swirling vortex, and he said, "Did the mission went successfully?" "Yes, it did. I managed to put a seal on the Kyuubi in Gaara, so he didn't went in rampage, and I did what you said. I changed the seal so we could track him and find out everywhere he goes." "Yes, thank you," Naruto said as he looked on the clone. Naruto and the clone made a plan because in the future they will want to gather up all the tail beasts. So they're gonna make sure that they knew where every one of them was. This was the first one though. Naruto already knew that Obito was going to strike up a deal with Pain. He already knew everything after Madara tricked Obito with Ren and everything. So Naruto already knew everything. He just now have to go to Obito and explain the plan. But he's not going to tell Obito the full details because Naruto is going to trick Obito too after reviving Madara. The fake clone then put his hands on the real Naruto's chest, and chakra started to came out of his hands and went into Naruto's body. Then the fake clone started shivered and changed back his form into the white Zetsu, and then he went underground. The real Naruto went back to the infirmary to find Sasuke passed out cold, and Naruto turned him and see the curse mark started to get wider and wider on his neck till it reached its full form. Naruto already knew what this was. So, that tricky bastard, he knew that he couldn't took Sasuke in the forest, so he decided to send his spy to do it for him, Naruto said with a smile on his face. Everything is going all according to plan, he said. Hours passed. Everyone have been informed about the third Hokage's death, and the funeral was kept early because the place wasn't damaged that bad. Everyone had to go and pay their respects to the third Hokage. A couple of weeks passed. The council wanted a new Hokage, and Danzo wanted to take it for himself. He wanted to be the next Hokage, but this time, he is really going to be the Hokage. The reason why Naruto and Jiraiya aren't going on a 3 years gap, because Naruto turned down Jiraiya's offer to become a Toad contractor, so he wouldn't be becoming close friends with Jiraiya. So Naruto will still be going away for the 3 years, but not with Jiraiya. And for them to turn a Chunin and everything, it was hold off because of the third Hokage's death. And the village is going through a lot right now because someone needs to be the new Hokage. And the position was given to Danzo after he managed to persuade the council. After the weeks has passed, the news quickly went around that Danzo was going to be the new Hokage. Now, skipping over to the sand village, Gaara stood there, sitting down in his bed as he think about all the ways he's going to rip Naruto Uzumaki to pieces, because Naruto didn't talk to him or anything. Naruto just suppressed his tail beast chakra, but now he still wanted to kill Naruto. And that Uchiha boy, he thought. After the weeks has passed and Danzo, the news was going around that Danzo is going to be the new Hokage. Some two peoples are going to come in the village searching for the nine-tailed beast, Naruto Uzumaki. And that is going to be Kisame and Itachi. And there is no Jiraiya around, so Naruto will have to face off against them by himself. But guys, I'm going to end right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification to stay posted. But I'm off now, guys. Peace.